the rifle season that year into late season, and I sat for, I think I did 25 straight sits in a row where I didn't see a single deer. 25 sits.
Like not all day sits, or was it like
not all
dark
day,
dark?
but
Okay.
like it was like half days and stuff like that. I'm getting like snowed on. It's like awful weather, and
Embracing the suck.
if you're not used to hunting and going out in the woods and being in the dark and stuff like that, it's intimidating. So I was going out on my own in really cold weather, and it was cool for me because it showed me how much like courage I had. And I think this is why hunting has just been like, you just feel like even if nothing happens, you still feel like you've done so much. And every hunt you learn something new. And if you have that perspective, I think it takes you farther than anything. Over the season, I was like, you can't get enough of these days. Like you get 3 months of memories, and you never know what those memories are going to end up looking like. So the more that you can get out there and stay consistent.
And I don't even remember like the feeling that I had. I don't know if my heart was like pounding extremely fast or what was going through my head, but like I'm just watching him come down. Beautiful rack, just got done raining, and I'm like, okay, if he gets to this spot, this is the spot I can shoot him. One more step he has to take to get there, and I don't even have my bow drawn back, like blacked out.
Yeah,
I bucked out, right? And he sees me, then he takes off.
If I shot a 100-inch 8-point for every year for the rest of my life, I'd be the happiest man in the world.
Good morning, everyone. This is dropping a little later than usual. I was in the woods yesterday, was absolutely whooped. Wanted to spend time with my wife before obviously went to sleep, got to hug my daughter when I got home. But very fun encounter in the woods. Had an encounter with a big 8 in the woods. He was 15 yards out of range. He ended up being like 60 yards at the time, but he was, from what I saw from where he was definitely a shooter in my book. Dark deer, big bodied deer. He just was cruising, man. That's all he was doing. My next day out is going to be October 30th, in the area that I'm hunting, and then, going to head up to my parents' camp November 1st, and 2nd. I'm going to hunt the evening in the 1st, going to hunt the morning in the 2nd. I'm going to take my daughter up to camp for the first time, this year. Last year I took her up, but it was after I kind of had that mess up and wasn't able to recover that big buck last year in our season. So this year's I'm going to take her up there. Going to hunt close to camp probably. I have another spot that I possibly might hunt. I don't know. Maybe I'll hunt that the 1st in the evening, and then close to camp, or just close to camp, because I know there's a nice sized buck and a good amount of doe running around the area right there. So I would gladly smoke a doe. Also, I will gladly smoke a buck. But not feeling too pressure right now, because I know we have rut camp coming up, and that's going to be really fun. And I have my area right now they're doing exactly what I thought they would do. They're cruising that edge right there. It's all small buck right now, but eventually a big buck's going to come by there because there's doe there. And the time when we're up there, that's when the big bucks are cruising around. But enough about me. This one here is all about Doug Huegel. On this one, we sit down in studio to talk all about his company, his work, Huegel Design Co. He does a lot of wildlife designs. He has done multiple design shirts for the hunting public. He's done one for the Philadelphia Eagles as well. He's just done a bunch for a bunch of company. He did some for Prime as well. His artwork is amazing. It's the kind of artwork that I personally like myself. More of that drawn, looks handmade type material. And he does all himself. So he doesn't use any AI. He doesn't use any system to really make it. He just draws it on his iPad, or when he gets inspiration in the field, that's what he does. A really great conversation. We talk about his Ohio buck that he got down last year, the whole process behind that, which I love the process, and we're going to be hitting that a lot more on most of these episodes here. The process behind a lot of them. It was a really great conversation. Really highly recommend go checking out his page. It is Huegel Design Co. That's all it is. It'll be tagged in the description on Instagram and actually in the bio of the YouTube video and the podcast itself. Yeah, guys. Hopefully you guys are having some cool encounters. I've had 2 so far. One with that 8-point, like I said. Excuse me. One with that 8-point yesterday on the 26th, and then last Tuesday I actually was able to stalk up on a buck within 20 yards. I could have taken the shot, but I didn't know. That was my first stalk ever, in the big woods especially. First stalk, and I was like, I don't know if I can take this shot or should take this shot, or if this is ethical or what have you. I asked a few people, and they said, yeah, if you can see vitals, they would 100% take the shot. And looking back, it's like I could have probably snuck it in between his spine and his shoulder blade, and ended up hitting like maybe lungs or even his lung and heart, depending. The rec broadhead, if it goes in correctly, could have hit both of them. But that's really all I got. It still seems a little slow in the area that I'm hunting, just because water is. I think we need a good rain. I know my next day out is going to be the 30th, and actually they're calling for like some drizzle. So I might go set up where I did the 26th, because there was a scrape right there that they're hitting pretty good. The weird thing is, I don't want to remind you guys this: cutting lanes and running mineral and screwing things in a tree is highly illegal in Pennsylvania. I saw some people on camera. They're carrying one of those big, long sawing arms into the woods. And these people have a permanent stand-up that they keep up year after year. The only time I saw them come in, though, was October 5th. So, I don't know. It's just follow the laws. Like, stop trying to... I'm going to have a full episode because there's a lot I want to talk about. But don't want to get into that right now. We'll leave it at that. Just follow the laws. Just do the right thing. Report it. If you see something, say something. But other than that, guys, really enjoyed talking to Doug. Make sure to give us a rating, review on Apple and Spotify. Really helps us. Just go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Helps us too. The partners that I'm going to mention are Deer Age, because to get your Deer Age, you got to use code HTS, save 10% on that. Also, Code of Silence, use code HTS, that'll save you. Use code Hunt Season 10, that'll save you 10%. Camp Co, go over there, use code HTS, buy some stuff. Other than that, guys, that's all the partners that I'm really going to be pushing anymore. I'm actually kind of thinking about stepping away from partners to begin with, because it's so saturated right now with everyone just being partners or affiliates or sponsored and all that kind of stuff. And thinking about you guys, and I'm not a famous hunter. I'm not a paid hunter. So I'm just an average guy working my job, having a family, and getting out when I can and when my wife says I'm allowed to go out. So I think being more relatable to you guys, I think I'm just going to drop partners and buy what I can buy and afford what I can afford, and leave it at that.
Who you are, how you got in hunting, and maybe a little like where you're at now, like how you got to where you are now.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Doug Huegel. I run Huegel Design Co, and I've been doing that for 7 years now. I ran it for 5 years full time. I've since picked up a conservation job, and I'm still doing it. And I've worked with a lot of really cool brands through the years: Sitka, The Hunting Public, Tethered. There's so many more. But it's been really cool to dive into all that. And I started going down that route just because when I first started my business, I was doing logos for anybody and just marketing for anybody who would pay me.
Kind of hard to find a niche at that point, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it was great because like I was able to sustain that from a financial aspect, but like my enjoyment wasn't there. And I would slowly start picking up these jobs where, they were more outdoor based, and like they need, like when you are that person that you're making these things for, it was just so much easier of a process. And then I'm working with people that, got me too, so we could communicate a little bit easier. So it was a natural progression into that. And I started making that switch about 2019. And at that point, interestingly enough, I wasn't really hunting. Like I was just hiking and enjoying the outdoors, camping and all that good stuff. But I got away from it for a little bit because, well, I moved to Philly and wanted to try to start my business out there. And my brother was in the Marines and I just didn't have anybody to go with anymore. And when I would go out with my dad, he didn't know what scouting was still. And like he would go out just because he enjoyed it and felt like he could make something happen if he just sat for long enough. And yeah, there was a point where I thought you could get your food anywhere. And so to bridge that gap, Andrew ends up coming back home from the Marines and I'm leaving Philly to move back home to Lancaster. And like when the way Andrew was hunting and I saw him starting to get bucks down, which we were never able to do. So I got into hunting when I was 16. I think Andrew was 14, and it was all because of Andrew. Like he got my dad took his hunter safety course with us.
Oh, wow.
And so from there we would hunt and we had no clue what we were doing. Like, and we were going on public land just during rifle season, never scouting. We didn't know what any of that stuff was.
Just
so
boots
that's
on the ground.
Yeah. So like I didn't take a shot at a deer until I was 26. And from 16 to 26, like I never even had a chance to even aim at a deer.
Okay.
Like I saw does and stuff, but I never had a doe tag, never even really knew how to get one just because like we were just, it's so much to pick up on. And like, we just didn't have anybody showing us. We were just, I mean, I was kind of following Andrew's lead. And he was 2 years younger than me. So when he came back, when he was in the Marines, he started picking up on the guys from the hunting public and seeing that, oh shoot, you can actually do this. Like this is tangible to kill nice bucks, let alone just even a buck on public land. And he came back and started killing bucks. And I was like, well, haven't seen my brother for a while. We didn't really talk too much when he was in the Marines. And when he came back, I was like, this is like one thing, like I really want to be a lot closer to him. And I started hunting just more so to be closer to him. And the next thing you know, it's like, this is kicking my ass so hard that I need to figure it out once I started doing it. Cause he killed a buck on a piece of public. And he was like, all right, well, like I killed one in here. So you might be able to figure it out. I killed it in archery season. So I started setting up in there and then started pushing it through, the rifle season that year into late season. And I sat for, I think I did 25 straight sits without any, not like day to day, but just like in a row where I didn't see a single deer. 25 sits.
Like not all day sits, or was it like
not all
dark to
day,
dark?
but like it was like half days and stuff like that. I'm getting like snowed on. It's like awful weather and
embracing the suck.
But it was the best.
Yeah.
And I never felt that before. Ever when I went hunting before, it really did suck. But like as I guess I was older, and then I saw like, you know, my brother was jumping on the chance to like help me out and like give me guidance on everything, and like I didn't see anything, but I had an awesome time just sitting out and just being completely humbled by it. And then after that, I was like, all right, we're getting serious after that. And then the next year, killed my first doe. And then the year after that, I got contacts. Didn't know I needed glasses. Got contacts and a compound at that point because I started on a crossbow, and then I knocked 3 deer off like real quick. Yep. And then the next year after that, I ended up getting my first buck, and then got a buck after that, and
Wow, that was so. Yeah, because when you look at your stuff, it's like, oh, this guy loves hunting so much, right? And like, he must have been hunting since he was like day one, all that kind of stuff. Like, when and you're a really good hunter now too. Like that's the thing.
One,
like, you become a really good hunter, and it takes time to get to that point. Like, and I think nowadays, right, it's more of like everyone wants that instant gratification of like going out and like automatically getting a deer, getting that big buck down. You know, it's like, I think everyone, no matter who you are, you want a big buck, but like you realize that it takes a lot of work to get a big buck down.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to spend a lot of time just figuring things out. And I had opportunities. It's just, I'd have big bucks freaking running in hard. Then they're grunting. I don't have a grunt call. So mistake there. I had another buck come in, and when I do rifle, all I use is a 30-30.
Okay.
Like no
All right.
scope, no nothing. All I ever
Open
want to
sight.
do is kill a buck with a 30-30, and I don't
Oh
even
my
care.
gosh, yeah.
And I just want to cowboy gun it.
Yeah.
And I had a buck 15 yards away from me, would have been my first buck probably on public. He was 115. I was taking I was actually mentoring a hunter that day.
Okay.
And they were sitting on the other hill, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, holy cow, this is this person's second hunt. They're going to get to pull a buck out of the woods. And the thing was 15 yards away, and I pulled that hammer back, and it just clicked, and the thing just looked right up at me and ran off.
No.
And I'm like, oh, man, that would have been the first one
Oh,
on
my
public. Like, it would have
gosh.
just been everything.
That would have been sick.
But the coolest part was my first buck was one that I was the one that I was targeting. Ended
Okay.
up being, so that was a really cool story. It was the end of a long like part of my life.
Yep.
And there was this deer that we saw it recover all year from a car crash, and it grew into a nice healthy buck, like a 9,500 inch deer, but it was a nice 8-point. And I was like, it just had a really cool story along with it. And, I just figured it out, and it took 5 sits to get on that one and made that one happen. And then the rest has pretty much just been history.
So going back to you and your brother with
Yeah.
getting into hunting, what did you like? Because you said you did 25 sits without seeing anything. Like a lot of people would get discouraged, but you said, oh, it was the best season. Like a lot of people, I think that's one thing that I try and find now is like, everyone says when you ask someone about a buck, right? They always say, oh, it was a 130 inch buck. It was a 120 inch buck. But then sometimes those bucks that mean more, they're like, oh yeah, he was just a beautiful, beautiful 8-point.
Yeah.
Just came in, the sunset was there, everything. Like sometimes those sits where you don't see anything are sometimes the best ones where you can actually reflect and, think back on things. Like those 25 sits, why was that really memorable to you? Like why was that kind of the I guess the light switch that made you go even harder?
Yeah. I think, I told you, like my main goal with the getting into hunting was to spend time with my brother. So he spent a lot of time, like I'd get done these hunts, and then I'd call him, tell him what happened, tell him this, that, and the other thing. So we spent a lot of time just game planning, and they were all late season hunts. So, it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like on public, it's just
Flintlock or bow?
I had a crossbow, and I was just hunting
Okay.
from the ground.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know how to climb anything at that
still hard.
point. Yeah. Oh yeah. And so that connection was big for me. And if you're not used to hunting and going out in the woods and being in the dark and stuff like that, it's intimidating. So I was going out on my own in really cold weather, and it was cool for me because it showed me how much courage I had, and it felt cool to come home each day. And I think this is why hunting has just been you just feel like even if nothing happens, you still feel like you've done so much. And every hunt you learn something new. And if you have that perspective, I think it takes you farther than anything. If you're just going out to hunt to come back with something every single time, you're never going to enjoy it. That's just an impossible feat. The more that you hunt and the more that you know, those chances happen a lot more. But anybody can get humbled at any time in the woods, and just being able to keep holding your head high when things aren't going well. I see people on social media all the time that are just oh, this year's just been stupid, and this has happened, and everything's just been hard this year, and I'm just over this season. Over the season, I was like, you can't get enough of these days.
Oh my gosh.
You get 3 months of just memories, and you never know what those memories are going to end up looking like. So the more that you can get out there and stay consistent, it was just cool for me, just keeping that drive and that focus and that like just that steady will to keep going was just really big for me at that point in time, and it just all happened at the right time.
Yeah, it was. You're 100% right. Like, there's so many people that post about like, oh man, this season, like it's dragging on. Like I'm down and done, not seeing anything. You know, man, there's no deer in PA. There's no like deer in like whatever state they're hunting in, right? Like they always blame something else, or you know, like, and back to the whole you'd get, what'd you say? You get it's in my head. I can't even say it right now. But like a couple of years ago, I'll think about it as I tell a story. Then I'll remember the word you said. But like the first time I got a bow, you know, I found this spot. You know, it's like it's two creeks come together to one. Right there, there was a big scrape. I had a camera there. Like I was getting big bucks crossing it daytime, nighttime, all this kind of stuff. And you know, I put a climber right there in the same tree. You know, I was like, okay, this is being mobile to me, like that, and that is mobile to some people, right? Like that's their mobile. So like every day I think I had 60 sits that year.
Yeah, same tree.
Yeah, insane, like stupid, like stupid amount of sits, and I'm going in there like it was before my daughter. You know, my wife was working 12s and you know all that kind of stuff. So like I was going in there when she worked, so then I could hunt. Literally like, get off work at 3:30. Go right into the woods early season, hunt till dark, come back home. I'm usually home before she would get here because it's local to me here.
Were you seeing anything?
No, like I wasn't. I was like, I just know they're here, right? Like I was seeing all the signs. I was like, they're laying down sign. Something like wasn't good at scouting. I wasn't good at like even hanging cameras. I wasn't good at anything.
Yeah.
So like, I sat there every day, like I said, like no matter what the wind was. No matter, like I sat, the one time I went in there, it was like raining, and I sat there, and like I'm not gonna see anything. I was in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna, you know, go home. It's no point sitting here. Rain stops. I look behind me at a pine tree, big. I think it was a buck that I had multiple pictures of behind me, making a scrape, licking a branch, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like it was the coolest thing, and I froze. And he was up there, and I was like, "There's no way he's gonna come to me." I get my phone out to about take a video of him, and he like turns and comes right down to me. I'm like, I put my phone away, and he comes. I'm like, okay, if he's walking right here, like he's walking beeline to me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, and I don't even remember like the feeling that I had. I don't know if my heart was like pounding extremely fast or what was going through my head, but like I'm just watching him come down. Beautiful rack, you know, just got done raining, gray clouds, gray outside. Woods isn't even woken up yet from the squirrels running around and birds or anything like that. And like, he comes walking right down, like kind of like zigzagging through this thick stuff. And I'm like, okay, if he gets to this spot, this is the spot I can shoot him. And like, he has one more step he has to take to get there. And I don't even have my bow drawn back. Like first year having a bow. Yeah. I'm like, I have this beautiful 8 or 10. I don't even know what he was. I blacked out.
Yeah.
I bucked out, right? But like, and then I go to pull back, and he sees me, and then he takes off. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like that was like, that there made me want to keep going back to that spot, or like go even further, like work even harder to find him again. Like, I think everyone has those moments of like, this is going to make me work harder.
Yeah.
Like you have to look, instead of being like, oh, this season sucks. Like, I'm not seeing any deer. Then walk. Yeah. Like literally walk and like just bust your ass to like find something else. Like I think that's like kind of like when the switch flipped for me, right? And I still can't think of the word that you said in my head. I can't think of it all.
Yeah.
But
I can't think of it either. But yeah, it is. I love getting my ass kicked, and I think if you're a hunter, you have to figure out how to love that. But I love it so much because it just makes me want to go even farther, try even harder. And even when I have successes, I feel the same way. Like I want to keep pushing it, and I don't really care about the deer size. Like I always try to keep it in my mind. Like if I get 100-inch deer if I shot 100-inch 8-point every year for the rest of my life, I'd be the happiest man in the world. Like So for me, I don't think I'll ever. I just don't want to put that pressure on. And I know if like, and I try to keep that philosophy with like a lot of things in my life where I'm trying to push where it's like, all right, I'm going to find what I like, keeps me happy, and then when those like if you keep doing it this way, those opportunities are going to come out of nowhere, and then the next thing you know, you get a huge deer, which is what happened for me in Ohio this year, and it's just it just happens, and you have like no rhyme or reason.
Yep. I mean, even back to the 8 points, like the 100-inch 8 points.
Yeah.
Like you look at, like, I don't know if I have 100-inch buck on the wall here, but like every rack is different. Like no matter what, like I think that's the most intriguing part that I personally love. It's like every rack, no matter what, is never going to be the same. It's exactly like a snowflake.
Yeah.
No snowflake's going to be the same. Like I was watching raindrops with my daughter out back in our little pool, and I'm like, I never realized that like each raindrop is also like a different size. So like it's not like all raindrops are even the same.
Yeah.
So like it's cool to look at it like that. Like no rack is ever going to be the same. Yeah, you're gonna have multiple 130s on your wall, but each rack has its own characteristics that make it stand out from the other one.
Yeah.
Which I think is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is crazy. I mean, I've seen so many deer that people have had mountain. Like when I go over to my brother's and I see what he has going on, it's like, I mean, every time I go down in his basement and see what he's like mounting at that point, it's like, it's always different. It's other people's deer, and I'm like looking at every little bump and every little groove, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw
awesome.
one at Huntstock. So for everyone that's listening to this, we're recording this August 13th. Yeah. So this past weekend in Huntstock, like I was looking at the sheds people found, and like this one shed, it was like completely flat. So like there was no bumps at the bottom or anything like that. Like he rubbed it the whole way down to like where there's nothing. I'm like, that's pretty unique right there. Like it's like smooth, like it's like as smooth a tabletop, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, dang, like that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But it still had the details in it. Like it still had lines in it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty weird,
Yeah.
but cool at the same time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder, did it definitely seem like he rubbed them off? Because I know if they don't, it's either like a genetic or a nutrient thing. Sometimes they won't get as heavy of bumps.
Or is it? It could be that too, but also is like, is it velvet also? Like, if they doesn't rub the velvet off completely, because I don't know what those bumps at the very bottom are called, to be honest with you.
There is a name,
yeah,
and I never remember what it is. There's this one video that I go back and watch every time, and they're like, "Yeah, it's this," and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forget."
But like, yeah, I don't know if it's if that's like residue, like when you rub the velvet off. I don't know if like there's stuff left the bottom then that gets hard, or like maybe he didn't rub the velvet off at all. And
yeah, I don't know how they end up getting made. Yeah, some are crazy.
yeah, but it's so unique.
Yeah,
and I love them. Like I love all deer, mostly because I love deer meat in general.
Yeah.
Like I think that's my main thing. Like I'll shoot like 3-4 doe a year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like if I don't get, like I think it's a mindset of like, okay, we want a buck, right? Mm-hmm. But yet I think also like if you want to hold out for those bigger ones, you got to learn to be happy with just like shooting doe.
Yeah.
Right. And like let those. It's still hard for me. Like I'm like, if I see a legal buck that makes me pick up the weapon, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to let one walk.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. Like little 6 points in the basket rest. I'm at this point. I'm always like, okay, you guys, you can get another year, and then you hear them go down and get blasted.
Yeah,
but
anything inside the ears is like anything like wider than its ears is like my standard.
Yeah,
now.
that's what I want to see. I want to see enough that like you catch that like that white flash coming through the woods, and you see just that bill that wraps around the head, and like if I get that, I'm like, okay, I'm excited. I'm going for this one.
That's like the 6 point I shot this year. When I snuck up to him, I didn't know what he was. I knew he was legal.
Yeah.
But like he turned his head and it was like raining out and it was dark and he like turned and I just saw this like massive rack and I'm like, yep.
Yeah, that's a cool 6 point.
Yeah. That was I thought he was an 8, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Thought he was an 8, but it was
I would have
a
too.
big
I mean,
6.
those tines are big on the top.
Yeah. I think they're about maybe 10, 11,
Yeah.
maybe.
Dang.
Yeah, he's a cool one. Yeah, he's a cool one.
Yeah, I always wanted to shoot like a big 6. Actually,
Yeah.
I hit one last year at I went out and yeah, it just didn't come together. I hit it in the shoulder. I was trying out these new, so I did work for Prime Archery.
Okay.
So they sent me some broadheads and they sent me the G5 strikers, and I just don't like I don't know. It probably was my shot, but it was the first time ever using the broadheads too. So I lost my confidence in them.
Well, so G5, right? Are most of those expandables too?
No. I mean, yeah, they do. Like they have the
Okay.
mega meats and
Yeah.
then the dead meats, and then yeah, so like they have good expandables. I've always used fixed. And I do like their Montex.
Okay.
Like I've actually only ever used Montex.
Okay.
This year I'm going with why can't I think of it? The Stingers. Magnus Stingers.
Yep. Yep.
My brother uses those, and they've got the bleeder blades on them, and his blood trails are awesome. And I've hit deer very similarly and not had as much of a blood trail, so I just want to get a bigger broadhead. But Montex, they're nice on compounds, but if I was ever going to shoot anything with a crossbow ever again, I would always use Montex because they really fit the crossbow. They fly really well on those things.
Okay. Because I shot the mega meat last year, and I
Okay.
shot I shot a buck, couldn't recover him. Shot him through the void area,
Okay.
like the mid mass up high, like he good blood, but then never found him, and then had a
Yeah.
trail cam picture of him. He's still alive. He's still kicking.
I knew someone that shot a deer, thought the first shot was pretty. I think they were they didn't like the first shot as much, and then they were able to get another shot in them that they thought was like dead nuts.
Yeah.
So two of those mega meats went through it, and they were not able to recover it. And
Really?
they even have a tracking dog.
Wow.
So
I just sometimes they don't open. I think
yeah,
I feel
I
like
don't
it's
know.
because that's the one I also looked at. There's the original mega meat, and there was a V2 that came out, or maybe that was dead meat. It might be dead meat that had that last year, but like the one I had, the V1 was a lot smaller broadhead,
Okay.
and I bought the V2, and it looks a lot bigger, and I'm like, oh, that could have been another thing. Like that, the smaller broadhead could have been
Yeah.
the reason.
It's
And they're both
interesting.
100 grain, so like it could, I mean, but yet again, you don't want to blame the broadhead. You don't want to blame.
I
any
know
equipment
that's
that you're
what
using.
like I more so take the blame on myself.
Yep.
I mean, I hit that deer square in the shoulder, so
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, I do have heavy arrows, so in my mind, I still feel like it could have killed it, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. It just I don't. It's a bummer when you do something like that on the
Yes.
first time. Like I
Yes.
literally put that broadhead on that. I mean, I shot a few practice ones, but that specific broadhead was fresh out of the pack, and I put it right on that. Like I was
yeah.
doing
Yep.
some test shots with a different one, and then I took a fresh one with real sharp blades out and put it right on. And yeah,
Deer are just so freaking tough. Like it's
that's
like
the other thing. Yeah.
it's like even though I hit him mid mass, you still think it would have hit some kind of like organ or
Yeah.
something that would have wounded him. Like he ran off like he was in pain, and then it's like with all that blood, it's like they're just so freaking tough. Like I know people who hit him like perfectly, and they still survive.
That's
It's like
crazy.
it's like wow.
Yeah, I saw a video last year of this deer double lunged, and then both lungs clotted up. And I think this was like a Michigan deer, and then somebody had it on a trail camera, like all, like just super swollen,
Really?
and it lived for I think another 2 weeks until somebody actually killed it. But
Oh my
it was gonna die.
Right.
It was full. The whole cavity and everything was full of pus by the time that they killed it. But like, the heck, that thing's literally walking dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that I think like ag deer. Like I don't want to be like ag deer are weaker than mountain deer, but like mountain deer, dude, like they're built different up there.
They are. Yeah, they're a whole nother thing. They're tough.
Yeah.
And, they're tough to figure out.
They are. But once you figure, I feel like once you figure one out, you're gonna figure like another one out. But then it's like that third one, I feel like will really trick you up.
Third one,
and it's like, nope, thought I had it.
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like being a hunter, you just got to get used to getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, and the mountain bucks too. I feel like they specifically have more. I think those are more like their process of finding food isn't as streamlined. I think they're more like the chances of them having a different personality than the next buck that comes through are much higher, I think, than ag field. I feel like ag deer can be safe and streamlined. They're doing things relatively similar speeds, and they've got, their little plots that they'll go to each night. They've got their does they'll check out. But the mountain bucks, they're just, they're just surviving.
They're just so fun.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to learn them and fun to build history with them. Like ag deer, I am tired of ag deer. Tired of it. Like I went to your brother's a couple weeks ago, and on the way I was driving past the field and I see the ag bucks out in the field.
Yeah, they've got some good ones out there.
I'm like, oh my goodness! So I stop and try to get some pictures, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. And the ones I saw were on public. Yeah. So like then that weekend I went back there to like find out where they are, and like the signs there, like you can find everything, but it's like I have no confidence going into ag land and be like, okay, this is where I'm gonna hunt. Mm-hmm. I just feel like they do things so differently when it's like my mind is on mountain buck thinking they're going to do one thing, right? Like it's like you got to kind of have a completely different mindset for ag deer.
And if I can probably almost guess the area that you were at. Then the thing is, once people hunt them, they have so much of a safety zone to just get off public and then go to the private.
Yep.
Like that's, I mean, if you don't have the private land, like it's a whole nother ball game. I mean, you'll get luck. Like people will get lucky, like hunting those edges, and especially during the rut, like you don't shy away from it. Especially if you keep seeing deer there, and if there isn't much pressure. But at the same time, it's very streamlined. I like raw. I like my favorite thing is just sitting out in the woods by myself. Confident that nobody's within 500, maybe even hopefully 1,000 yards of me. Hopefully nobody's out there.
No one's out there.
Just sitting there in my tree stand. This is how I describe hunting to people that don't hunt. Is like when you sit in that stand, you're getting to watch a movie that nobody else ever gets to watch, and that's the only time you'll ever get to watch it. You'll never get to watch it again, and then it's done. And that is like, that's my favorite. And like, you'll have crazy stuff happen with the ag deer and stuff like that. But for me personally, like I love seeing like the porcupines climbing around, the bobcat running by every now and then, and turkeys flying off the and like I said, you'll still get some of that depending on where you are on ag and everything. It's just, it's just, I like it when it's wild.
Yeah, I like keeping things wild. I like hunting the wild, put it that way, because like you said, ag deer just like where they're feeding at. Primarily, where they're bedding at. It's like, then you just got to like wait for them to come out and wait for the right time. Yeah. Usually, it's like mountain deer. It's like you're scouting over here. They could be over there, but then really they're over here. It's like you have no idea because they have a mind of their own, and it's like I don't know. I just love it so much. In all honesty,
you're thinking about it right now.
Yeah, I am thinking about it. I'm like, where can I go next in this mountain right now that I'm scouting?
In your head,
I'm like trying to have a conversation, but I'm also like, okay, I can see where they're going right now.
It's like all the like that trending, like mentally we're here right now. Like we start talking about this, like it like starts pulling me out of here completely, and I'm just like when I was talking about like how it's like watching a movie. I'm like I could feel almost like the tree to my back, like being like like harnessed in with my saddle and stuff. Like, and I'm thinking that as I'm talking about
That
it, like
that's like an awesome analogy for that, because that is 100%. You're 100% right. Like, because where you're sitting in your tree that you're sitting at, no one else is sitting in that tree watching the same view that you're sitting at. Like, there may be a hunter like 500 yards down, 1,000 yards down. He's seeing a different view. He's seeing different things. He's seeing like different birds waking up. He's hearing different things wake up, and it's like not even another hunter is seeing the same thing you are. Like, if you look at it that way, it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I think that every single time, as soon as the sun starts coming up, I'm like, all right, the movie's starting.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like this past year, I think I saw a UFO in the woods, but no one else would have seen that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just me, and everyone's probably like, "Oh God, UFO
this
guy.
guy's been sitting out at his tree stand
Joe
too
Rogan."
long. Yeah.
So we talked whitetails there for a good amount of time. I want to get into what you do, because like you make amazing pieces of. What do you want to call? Like, because I would call it art.
Yeah.
Like, is that what you would classify it as?
Yeah, yeah. It's a mix of a lot of things. It's a mix of art. It's a mix of experiences, and it's a mix of also what people are going to want. So there's a lot at play. I'd say it's illustrations. I'd say there's some art, a lot of apparel stuff. And then branding for companies and different things like that. So yeah, it's very broad scale. I've been narrowing it in a little bit, but it's hard to say no when things outside of that come in, especially if they are like conservation hunting based projects. But yeah.
Where do you get the ideas from? Like, say, like are you just sitting there one day and you're like, you know what, think about this right now.
Yeah.
Like, is that what, other than like companies reaching out to be like, hey, I want this done, all that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah.
Where do you get your, I guess, freedom ideas from?
I think, I'd say 50% of them just pop into my head out of the blue. More so the stuff that I make for myself and my own brand. Those are more just out of the blue. And then I have enough time, if I can find it, to just run with it for a little bit. And those are nice because I get to have fun with them, and just, they can go like wherever I want. But, with other places, typically they'll come to me with like half an idea, if not a pretty fleshed out direction, and then I can, take it from there. But like a lot of people end up, I've been doing it long enough that I have a good enough portfolio, so they want more so what I'm doing, instead of like they send me like 5 things from a bunch of different artists. It's more like, hey, we like these things that you've done in the past, take this. And then now it's really cool because, as you know, hunting, it really can be an all year thing.
Oh, 100%.
So the best, like, the coolest part about it now is when people are sending me ideas, I have enough time to get out in the woods and try to cover ground. So when people give me their concepts or ideas, like marketing campaigns and stuff like that, like, I get to keep that in the back of my mind, and now I get to go out, whether it's in the spring where it's like, deer are all year. So, if I just go out on a hike, I'm thinking about deer. So if it's something with that, it's like, that's in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, I just had this experience. I think I can connect it. And a lot of it is very experience based, which I think is what makes it so unique.
Right.
It's like, I just wait until either I have that experience or that idea, and sometimes it's both. And, the next thing you know, something comes to life, and it's crazy how fast that it can happen. I spend a lot more time thinking about it than it actually takes me to make it, for sure.
Yeah. Like, what I've always been because like yours is more like, when you look at it, it looks like a drawing, right? Like that's what it is. Like, how does that happen? Because like I know, like obviously sheet paper and all that kind of stuff drawn on that. But, like, you have a tablet and you're drawing. Like, my sister does it a little bit. Like, I see her do stuff like that, but I'm like, what are the apps you got to do? What are the, like, like, what do you do to do that?
Yeah. So I do all of my stuff. I have a laptop. So I got into this stuff. I haven't been like an illustrator, like, the whole time I've been doing this. Like, illustration was something I picked up, I'd say 3 years ago, and I've just been teaching myself how to do it since, because I was always a really good designer. Like, my design skills and like layouts and like advertisements, magazines, and posters and all that good stuff. Like I can do that all day, but I wanted to have more fun with my job. And I also noticed that I was like the best designers had a lot of knowledge in illustration. So I wanted to catch up and I wanted to, start teaching myself. So I got this laptop. Weirdly enough, and most creatives use Apple and all those products. I use all PC.
Okay.
It's what I was trained on in high school, and then my college. That's what they had. They switched to Apple the year after I left, but it's just the tool that I've always used,
And it works for you.
And I've used Apple. Like I've worked at places where I've done Apple and all that. But yeah, no, I use PC. I have this laptop. It's got a screen that breaks down so it lays flat into a tablet, and then I just go onto Photoshop and just draw everything. And I mean, it's nice having a brother who's a taxidermist, so I can take different screenshots of different stuff that he has. And then, like going online, I can just get a bunch of reference pictures at all times that you can just start drawing. And I mean, I've been doing it long enough now that it's cool that when I get to work my own antlers that are up on my wall into like different things for like the hunting public per se, or any of those brands. It's really cool to get to continue that story.
How did it? So when the hunting public reached out, because it's so cool to me that I had someone, like we were talking about this before the podcast started, how people fanboy, right? Like the hunting public is maybe one that a lot of people would probably fanboy over.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're so huge, right?
I've seen it. I've been at shows that they've been at, and it's just it's lines, lines.
That
lines.
Seek One, we saw that this year at the Great American Outdoor Show. Seek One was there. Line was out the door for that. So with the hunting public, how did that like feel? Like, were you, because you not really being like into hunting till later on, were you watching the hunting public or like?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, my brother put me onto them, especially as I was getting to learn, and I think that's another thing that like kept me in it when I said I was going through like that time where it was just nothing was happening, but I was still trying to find ways to enjoy it. I would come home and then watch their videos, see what they were doing, then talk to him. So like that was a whole nother aspect of that. But yeah, no, I got hooked on it, and I mean, it was crazy. Like how it felt at first, like through the first projects, I was on cloud nine. Like especially once I saw them release, like they sent me like each like one of each to wear and stuff like that. Like I got to like hold that and stuff. I was like, this is wild. And then you get to see them while you're watching their videos, like at the ends and stuff, they're wearing it. Then it's like popping up on like their YouTube videos. It was just surreal. Like my brother sent me a picture of Ted wearing a turkey shirt that I did for last spring. And like, it still feels surreal. Like it's definitely different. But then when I take a step back and like, it is cool to look at it from those eyes, like still try to like find those eyes that I had 3 years ago when it was like the craziest thing in the world, and just be like, yeah, I mean, that's still wild to me. And I've met all those guys. Like it's cool. And I mean, they're great people, like awesome people to work with. Like they give me a lot of freedom, and they have really good ideas too. And like the collaboration with them has been awesome. And like I mean, there's been nothing to show me that they aren't anything different than what they are. And I think that's why they've grown so much, because it's just so organic and easily to relate to.
Yeah, that's they don't come off as someone who's fake.
Yeah,
on there, like I 100% see that. Like it's so cool to hear that, because when you're a company, like let's say I had one of my buddies on. He creates a saddle. He creates saddles and everything like that. Bull Path. He built saddles. I bought one of his saddles. Nice. It was here in the studio when he was here doing an episode from Ohio. He came in to do an episode with me, and he was like, it's kind of surreal seeing like my saddle that I just made here in Pennsylvania, and I'm here too.
Yeah.
And it's cool to hear that, because it's like, in my mind, it'd also be the same way. Like when this gets released, like the new brand is going to be released for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
So like that'll be happening before deer season. So like it's going to be cool to see how that grows too,
Yeah.
right? Like, and for you, when you see like that stuff, like if I was doing that, I'd be like, whoa, like, if you have some big shot, like let's not even say the hunting public. Let's say like we had an NFL player wearing like a shirt that you made, or
which that has happened.
right, exactly, like with the Eagles one, right?
Yeah,
It was I forget which one it was.
It was the home dog's gonna eat shirt.
Oh yeah,
which that was like I did that. I knew it was for Lane Johnson, and it was brushed through like after they beat the Falcons and they put the dog mask on, and I sent it over to him. Didn't hear anything from it. And I wake up the next day and it's just all over ESPN. And, I'm a huge Eagles fan, and that happened while I was living in Philly, and that was the craziest experience of my life, design-wise.
Like, so with your designs, like, do people, like, is there some mark on them that they know that it's yours?
No.
Because I know, like, with my sister, she'll put, like her initials at the bottom or something like that. Like, do you do that?
I've never done that. I try to make my mark in the style. Like when people are out, like I don't have any marks on it, but people will be out. They'll send me a picture of a shirt from another brand. They're like, this looks like you. Did you do this? And I'm like, yep, that was mine.
Yeah.
Like that is like a lot because there's nothing on it that says anything about me except just the consistency of my art that I've been putting out there. And some people, they can have similar styles. And some people do send pictures of things to me and they're like, hey, did you do this? And I'm like, no, I didn't do that one, but it looks awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just try to do it in the like continuous style more so. Yeah. I don't know. I guess sometimes I'm so new to the illustration stuff in my head that like sometimes I just don't see myself as an illustrator, so I haven't put like a
mark there.
Coming. Yeah. I mean, I do have one. I've never asked anybody if I could throw it on there. I usually am just so used to people just wanting full ownership of stuff. But,
and also, like, I feel like they give you credit for it no matter what, right? By them wearing it, it's giving them credit. It's giving you credit for it. Like, if you see them wearing or see them selling the shirts, like, that's giving you credit for it. That's, that's in itself is, like, giving you credit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's,
definitely.
Yeah. Because I look at your page and I'm like, man, this is some cool stuff. Like,
Thank you.
It's really cool. Like, I love it. Because that's, like, for being a brand, that's what I kind of look at. Like, okay, drawing wise is like, I find those shirts so much better. Like the old school, like I have an old school Pennsylvania buck hunter shirt with like just a regular buck on it and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, it's so classic. Like those classic shirts is what I like.
Yeah.
Like those drawings, those classic shirts, those old school vintage.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's what I'm drawn to too. And one of my biggest things getting into, like when I really started making that shift into becoming like a hunting based like art company, the biggest thing that excited me was that there was nothing cool for us to wear when we were kids. It was like all Second Amendment stuff, like just things with like just stuff everywhere. Like I
had a shirt with flames.
I mean, looking
on
back, like it's awesome. And like looking back, like I think I would wear one of those. Like, I think it'd be cool if I found one at like a thrift shop.
Yeah.
Like, but like when I was a kid, I was like there just wasn't any, like, not much artistic. Now, and not even like, even outside of me, there's other artists and companies that are taking that more artistic approach, and you're definitely seeing that swing, and it's really cool. Like all the other artists that are doing it right now, and all the companies that are doing it right. Like, I love seeing the way that like the hunting industry is really embracing more of an artistic thought through approach that is connecting so well. And it's just so many people are making so much good art right now.
You can see them breaking down the boundaries, like Latitude, right? Like Latitude's
great branding.
artwork is like phenomenal, right? Like they have great work. Like Tethered has good work. Like you have all these brands having really good work.
Dialed,
right? Dialed. Their Lone Wolf one, is like if I ran those sites, I probably would have bought that just because of like the topo lines with the wolf there. It's like that looks badass.
Yeah, they got some good stuff. It's cool to see that, because when I started doing this, I saw that kind of happening, but like I didn't have any inspiration to pull from. It was like all right, how can I try to connect hunting, but also pull this art from this, like, I mean, a lot of the inspiration I was pulling was stuff from like artists that were just doing more so just like hiking stuff and different things like that. But I mean, at the same time, you got to think of the demographic too, and then make it mold into that. So like even when I first started doing it, like a few years ago, like my stuff was much softer than it is now. Now it's more, after embracing it for so long and seeing what like hunting really, you know, engulfs. It's like it's become a little bit more like rugged and more of a hand drawn feel to it. The more like I get a lot of like inspiration from like field notes and stuff like that.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So like field notes, like do you take field notes in the woods? Like do you like have like a rut book or anything like that?
yeah, I mean, I don't have anything. I just have like a blank notebook, and then whatever I feel like doing that day, if it's a drawing or if it's notes, the next shirt design or like idea for the text or anything like that. Like I don't try to put any boundaries on it. Most times I don't actually do anything just because I'm so aware and like locked in that like I can't think of doing anything except for the freaking 5 times I jump on my phone for 10 minutes or something stupid, which I hate, but it just happens.
It's one of those things you just randomly just pull out like, oh, I'm on my phone again. I guess
I'm just like cursing myself the whole time.
I have to pay attention here.
Yeah.
Like what's going on? Yeah, I've been there. So you don't do you self-film? Do you?
No. I wanted to. I thought it would have been cool to do it for a little bit, but I mean, just like it's. I find it to be another thing that's very saturated, and then for me to make the time to make it different, to like that it's doing things, I don't know. Like I do like having that moment to myself, and if I am out with another person, that's awesome to share too. But I enjoy just letting that moment be that moment.
Yeah,
and maybe I will film at a certain point if I get more experience under my belt and. Like, I want to take the liberty of moving all those pieces around while I'm trying to figure out my bow and not get this in the way. Because, like, I mean, even without the film stuff, it's like there's so many different things that can just pop up. But I don't want to. I would be so mad at myself if there was ever a point where, like, I missed out on a buck because I was fiddling around with some extra gear that was just trying to get a video that I could show to people. Like I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Like it would be awesome to have that. I just I'm still just trying to dive into it so deeply that I'm like, all right, I'm cool without being able to bring this home with me.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. Learning experience for sure.
Yeah, you self-film?
Yeah, I did it all last season. I feel like you said, it's a huge learning curve. Like if you don't force yourself to do it, you're not gonna do it. Like it's like when I had the camera arm that's hanging up the camera right now. I used that one the first year.
Okay.
And like I had a Canon Vixia, like a small little handy cam, and like the GoPro 5. Took that in, and that camera arm just got so big and bulky. I didn't have a good carrying system. Like I was purely saddle hunting, and I was like, where am I putting this camera arm at? And now it's like I found a system, and all, like when you go through it a whole year, it's stressful, especially when like after I hit that buck, couldn't recover him.
Yeah.
Then it was like I don't want to film anymore. Like I don't want to do this. And then
I would hate, like a part of me would love to have that video so I could analyze what happened, but a part of me would hate to continue just keep reliving it over and over and over again.
I double tapped the record button on the camera, so I didn't get like it was right on him.
Okay.
I double tapped it so it didn't record. I only got the GoPro looking at me, pulling the bow back, and like I did not want to release that video. Like I was like, but this is like the reason I think people should do that more is because that's the real side of hunting. Like it's not every time of like you're going to harvest a deer, right? It's like there's going to be moments where you mess up. There's going to be moments where you hit him in the shoulder, right? There's going to be moments where you hit him in the void. There's going to be moments where you whiff completely. Yeah. And that's okay. Like you're going to have those moments of sucking.
Yeah.
But then you have to learn from those moments.
Oh, yeah. That happens. I'm shooting my bow every day, 15 times a day.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
What I did, every day after that buck, every time I was in the woods, I would sit for 2 hours, and then I go search. It's like I would just keep searching and searching and searching the area.
Yeah.
Never found him. Like, then rifle season came. Then it was like, after rifle season came, it was like a complete mental reset. It was like, it's a new season. Let's get in there. Right? But I still, like, when rifles went, I still went to areas where I didn't search with a bow. If it was too thick, stuff like that, I went in there. So, definitely, I think more people should put out those misses or, those bad shots. Whatever. Like, you should. Like, even though no one wants to be pictured as, like, a bad hunter because they wounded a deer, right? No one wants to wound deer. But it's like, that's the real side of things.
Yeah.
That should be put out there and talked about more.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it does. It's the worst.
It's the absolute worst. So, with the name of the new show, what's your favorite season to hunt? Doesn't even have to be whitetails. Just your favorite season.
Well, it's definitely whitetails.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say anywhere from that last week of October into the first week of November. Like if I'm gonna hunt, if I could pick if I only had 2 straight weeks to hunt out of the whole entire year, I would pick those. I've seen the most things happen. I love that, like that pre-rut like craze where it's like when your buddies finally got muscles going into their first year, like high school, and you're just like ready to rip.
Yep.
And you're just sitting there at like the edge of your seat. You got like all your new like school clothes and stuff. You're just like, all right, we're gonna get back out of it and see what happens this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like the bucks get that way, and you can just mess with them so much more. Like they'll like that last week of October, like the coolest things I've seen. Like just grunting and different things like that it's just awesome. It's a whole nother world, and then it's just gone so fast.
Yeah.
Like, and then I mean, if you can adapt and try to figure it out, but like at that point, that's when you're in your zone. So like, if it leaves without you being there at the right time, then the next thing you know, you're like, oh shoot, like. It's dead and gone. And it's just so you just got to be there at the right time. And there's about like 4 days at each good spot that you have to be there at the right time.
Right. It's so funny you brought that up because like that is like I think that's the best time. Right, October 20th to maybe November. Maybe you can push to the 10th.
Yeah, maybe depending on where you are.
Right.
If I go out to Ohio, definitely.
Yes.
But. Yeah, in eastern PA, around here, like I'd say, it really closes quick.
Yeah, it's November 1st is when I saw a lot of big bucks moving.
November 1st is that's a crazy day. I killed my first buck on Halloween. Okay, which was cool. Yep. And yeah, I've seen a lot of bucks from October 25th to November 2nd, like really specifically in those days.
Now, do you like when you're driving to the spot, all right, you're obviously waking up dark o'clock, right?
Oh, yeah.
Leaving. I think it's when I'm driving and I start seeing deer cross the road in front of me, I'm like, oh, today's the day.
Really?
Like, today is the day. Because like the day I shot the buck with my bow, I had 4 buck cross in front of me, and I was like, today I'm effing killing. Like it's the day.
I like the days where I see nothing the most. Yeah.
Okay.
Once I start seeing deer, I'm like, they're not at my spot, and I don't have any. Like I remember when I was getting into hunting with my dad, and it'd be him, my brother, and I about to just run through the woods with rifles on our shoulders, not knowing anything, and we'd see the deer and. We're like, oh, they're everywhere. This day's going to be crazy. And then you end up seeing nothing. Yep. And it's funny because it's kind of translated. Like the days where I see the deer crossing the roads and running around, I think are the days that I end up seeing the least.
Okay.
I don't know what's with it.
I guess the mindset thing, like it's everyone's mindset's obviously different. Like we talked about before, it's like I get more positive for seeing more deer in front of me.
I get pumped.
Right.
Like, I definitely get pumped, but
Right.
like, just on what I've seen, those have been the least successful days for me when I've been like, holy cow, I saw 40 deer on the drive in. And I mean, I hunt like a lot of game lands. Like, I was hunting a lot of game lands around like the Mount Gretna area and stuff like that. And there's a lot of farm fields around, so it's like they're in the fields.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting into the game lands, it's like, yeah, a lot of those fields don't really butt up to the game lands all that much. So it's just it's almost like a different world. A lot of places once you get into those. So when I see them in the fields and running across the roads and stuff, if I see them run out of timber, like, I'll get more excited. But when I do, like, a lot of times more times than not, they're just all over the fields and running around.
That's the same thing for rifle. Like, when you talk about your brother and your dad going, like, seeing all these deer across the front of you, like, oh, today's gonna be a good day. Like, the day before rifle, so you can still spotlight the day before rifle actually opens in Pennsylvania here. I remember up in Juniata County when I was a kid, we'd always go spotting like 2 days before, the day before, all that kind of stuff, just to see like if the deer were out in the fields, right? And then we'd see all these deer out in the one farmer field that we had access to hunt. It's like, oh my gosh, like, oh, it's gonna be a great day tomorrow. We didn't see a single deer.
That's crazy. I mean, I would get pumped about that. But I mean, they are moving nocturnally too.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely a tough one to navigate. But that would definitely get me pumped.
Because that was like, oh my god, like, we'd always be like, how many deer are we gonna see? Like, in Juniata County, there were so many deer back then. Like, it was like you could go back. We would see like hundreds of deer, like sometimes in one field. Like, it's just like all these deer just right in one field. It's like, but there was no like big buck. There was just all doe. Like, we'd drive past and be like, all doe. It's like, oh my gosh, where are all these buck at? So so did you go to PA and Ohio buck last year, or just an Ohio buck?
Yeah, I hit a PA one, and by then would have been nice because I would have had a buck down. But then I got a 134 in Ohio last year.
Okay, so let's go through that story, because your brother didn't drop anything. He didn't.
Did he mention it was wild?
He mentioned it was wild, but he just told his story.
Yeah.
So like, I think I'm gonna have you guys back to back. I'm not sure how these episodes are gonna line up yet, but I think you guys are gonna be back to back episodes here. Cool. So let's walk through that hunt, and I want to know, because I'm really interested, because I feel like you can learn a lot from people's stories of how they set up and all that kind of stuff. So any little details, you obviously don't drop any locations. Don't do that. But like, why you set up in a certain spot, or how you got in, like the wind, the weather, all that kind of stuff. And I know it was probably hot, sound like. Yeah,
relatively. When I found it, definitely. It was warm. It was definitely warmer than we'd want it to be. But so we were in Ohio. And the big thing that I've been doing lately is just staying in really good shape for hunting season. So
helps a lot.
Yeah. And Andrew had already gotten his buck down. He shot a nice like 7 or 8 point from the ground. It was awesome. Like, couldn't pass up the opportunity, and just knocked her dead on the second day out. So he just, like, I love hunting, but like, his need to hunt, I think is, and I have a strong need to hunt, but when it comes to him, his need to hunt is, I don't know if I've ever met somebody that has that. And maybe it's only because I see it, but like, he just needs to keep going and learning. And I mean, it's always me keeping up to him. I mean, he's my younger brother, and it's awesome. Like, it's so cool getting, like, when we were younger and we played video games and stuff like that, I used to like micromanage everything he was doing. Like, why would you do it this way? Why would you do that? And like with hunting, it's the one thing where I'm like, all right, dude, like, you know what you're doing.
You take the ropes on this, yeah. Yep.
Totally. But now it's cool because we really balance. Like, we work together as a team. The thing is that the chance, if I went out with him together with both of our ideas combined, I think we have a 75% higher chance at all times. Yeah. It is wild what we've come into. And that Ohio trip, or that Ohio hunt, was crazy because it was Wednesday night. I had already covered about 25 miles of public.
And how many days? 25 miles. Like you talking walking, biking?
Sunday, yeah. I mountain bike in the dark on like if I can find trails.
That's what I'm doing. So.
Yeah. And I love it. You're covering ground as long as you can find a trail safe enough to do it on. Godspeed. I mean, I've eaten shit. Like, oh, can I curse on here?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
if you say, some inappropriate words that I had to bleep out, that's different. But like it's
all right. I figured. But so yeah. So I covered as much ground as I could, and I just wanted to go out to Ohio and just learn and just keep messing up and seeing what I could do and trying this and trying that. And I was just I was about to take Wednesday night off. I'm sitting on my cooler, but just kind of getting beat down. Like, all right, I'm going to take a long nap and we're going to take tonight off and we're going to do it. Andrew comes out of the camper. He's like, well, I just e-scouted and we've got some stuff we got to look at. And I just looked at him. I was like, it's good. He's like, we got to look. He's like, I can't sit here. And he already killed his deer. He's like, I was like, we can't be sitting here. And I'm like, all right, we're going. So, and it's perfect. Like it starts drizzling down, untouched on our end.
And this is at nighttime.
It's in the evening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's probably about like 1:00.
Okay.
So I mean, it's doable. We can spend our time and all that good stuff. And as soon as we start going in, it starts a nice pour, one that's just gonna put that scent right to the ground, and like it's just so steady and it's not like crazy or anything. We get to the top of this ridge, and about right where he sat a pin, I get up over and there's a small 8-point just staring right at us. So we kind of get down, try to mess with that thing a little bit. We get it curious, but it goes off. Then we sneak up on that trail. That thing's already gone down the ridge, and we get to like the last point that we kind of want to get to. We're talking, we're sitting there. The next thing you know, we just hear like a big blow behind us, and we're like, oh crap, that was like 15 yards. So we turn around, there's just like, probably I'd say a 110 just staring at us, like, and like when you looked at this thing, it did one of those things where it looks at you, but with the deer in the headlights, like the white of its eyes were just so like
how'd you get here? Yeah,
like it was just like holy cow! Like the thing just snuck up on. Like our wind was so perfect, and
it's
everything
still drizzling
that we did,
too.
yeah, everything that we did was just so methodical, so well planned out, and like. I mean, there's deer on top of us. They're not smelling us, not picking us up. And we're like, all right, we got to find the tree for tomorrow and set up here because, I mean, we just saw 2 bucks, 2 shoot. I mean, I definitely would have shot that second one without a doubt.
Right.
And, I mean, he could, honestly, he was actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
And so we get to that tree, find the tree that we're going to set up in, get the heck out of there, go in. Right in the morning, and I mean this is 2.5 miles in. So and then we had to go up. I'd say, I think we had to climb about 3 different benches to get on this point. So I mean it's definitely not easy. And then we get up in the tree in the morning. Right off the bat, there's a small little 4-point that comes in, but that gets me pumped because I mean they move earlier. And he came down. He's sitting there. You can just hear him crunching on acorns. He's down there for like 15 minutes, and you're like, you can see the acorns popping out of its mouth. He's that
cool.
close.
That's cool.
And at this point, Andrew and I are sitting up in the tree together, which is so cool because we don't get that opportunity all that often. Because it's like, I mean, we're trying to make the most of everything, and so then we get absolutely poured on, just like it's raining so hard that there's streams running through my pants.
Oh my
and gosh. Like it was almost to the point where like, and Andrew and I were just talking about this the other day because we run through the story, so it's just so wild. And like him and I both were, we said the other day, we're like, yeah, like I mean we were about 5 minutes from being like, okay, this is almost uncomfortable. And he got there quicker because he had already shot a buck, and like there was no. There at that point there really wasn't any quit in my head. I was just like, this is getting a little annoying.
Yeah.
But at that point I had decided on sitting out all day because I had not seen anything so consistently in one spot. I mean, to just walk in on 2 bucks at 2:00, like something's happening there.
Oh yeah,
like,
something's in there.
And I saw them with my eyes. I mean, the one that came up behind us, no, but the first one I saw with my eyes before it saw me, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's about, the rain stops, it settles down, the sun starts coming out, and then the thermals just start hitting. So like we were undetected. Like,
and you're describe this location of where you are, like on like a kind of like a ridge, like on top of a ridge.
Yeah. So we're on a bench.
Okay.
And then it's got a draw. So there's a bench here, but then there's a draw that comes off of like an open field.
Oh, okay.
So we were thinking these bucks were staying in this open field to try to locate a hot doe.
Okay.
So, and then there's a creek down at the bottom. So they got their water. It's warm. It was definitely a warm rut. There was only really one 32-degree day, I think, the whole time we were out in Ohio, the first week of November. And there's acorns everywhere. Like, they had almost everything. And that, like, the different ways, there was 5 different ways that they could have walked in.
Converged to where
this
you
area, pretty much.
Oh my gosh. So like that field, that was above you.
Yeah.
Okay, and the draw came down to you on the first bench underneath that field.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So that draw,
right.
And that's where that buck came down, the small buck came down from.
Okay.
And then on the other side was basically a replicated thing.
Yeah.
So like a buck, if it was covering ground, could have came up over, or it could have kept taking that ridge line out.
Okay.
So there was just multiple possibilities. That draw was awesome, but then like there was a bench here, but then there was a bench underneath of it that's still connected to that draw too.
Yeah.
And it just had the
multiple converging features. Like it's just right there. It's like everything happens right there. Yeah.
And it seemed like the deer that we were walking in on while we were scouting were heading in that direction.
And we're using it the way you think they were using it.
Yeah. So yeah, we set up on it, and it's about 11:30, and I mean, Andrew's killed his deer at this point. He's like, all right, like I'm going to get down, like good luck for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. He gets down, and then an hour later, all I hear is choo, choo, choo. And I'm like, at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't know how the rest of the day is going, because I'm a big snack guy, and it is hard for me not to eat them. And I had eaten everything by the middle of the day, and I'm just sitting there like, how am I going to make it through the rest of the day? And then right when that thought process starts getting like, I actually need to think about this, all choo, 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 choo. And I look over, and I see that, just that white glisten in the sun. And I mean, it's the biggest buck I've ever seen, like in the woods to this point. I mean, actually, I did see I bumped a 160 2 days earlier.
Gosh.
Yeah, that was actually the biggest buck I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I only saw that for like 2 seconds.
Right.
It was like 15 yards away from me.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah, that just was what it was. That was wild. So anyway, this deer's coming up, and he hits that draw that's running down from the field, and just boom. And like within 30 seconds, he was like there. So he's coming. I got my tree. I mean, I'm in the saddle, so the tree's here. I'd like to shoot here, or if he came down underneath me, I'd like to shoot here.
Right.
And he's coming up here, so I'm going to end up shooting him here. And as soon as he walks behind that tree, I'm at full draw on this thing, and I might have to move this because like,
go ahead.
It's all about like what ends up happening as I'm at full draw is just insane. So he's there. I go to full draw, and I don't see any deer, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm hanging out here, and then like a minute later, he comes out from behind the tree, and he's just having a blast, like just chewing on, like literally it looks like he's got a smile on his face, eating acorns. Like he's 8 yards away from me.
8 yards.
Yeah, and like literally we couldn't have we couldn't have guessed this. Like, there was nothing that was done. My tree was here, like if this was like the size of the tree, and he's the whole way over here, and he just beelines it and just cuts up that draw. So I'm just in disbelief. I'm sitting here looking at the biggest buck, like, hardly felt like I did any work for it.
Yeah.
Like, it just fell right into my lap, and there's just sticks, just limbs and all this stuff in front of me. So I'm like, he is not moving quick.
Yeah.
So I'm at, like, all I can see is his neck, and he's eating. He's got a big slice out of the top of his neck from a shot previously.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, all I can see is his neck. I'm about 2.5 minutes in at full draw. And I'm waiting. He takes another step. All right, he's just chomping on acorns. I'm at like minute 4, full draw. Still chomping on acorns. Still keeps going. And I got, like, he's here, and I got to wait for a window about here.
A basketball-sized window.
But he's not, and he's not moving. So I'm about 6 minutes at full draw, not letting down. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you did not work out for a whole year to be like, you're not wimping out now.
Right.
I'm cursing the worstest curses in my head just to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like David Goggins on me, like literally,
a little
like,
David Goggins on your shoulder.
Yeah. At myself. I'm like, you're not letting this down. Like, that you would have to bleep out. Like, the things I would say, you would have to end up bleeping out on this. And I'm just ripping myself a new one. Like, do not let down. It's the biggest buck. So I don't know what ends up happening, but I'm at like 6.5 minutes full draw, and my front arm's like this, and literally he's just down there, and like his eye, like, I don't know, like, so I start shaking. So I'm like, I got to make a move. So, and I don't know how I did this, but what I did was I locked this arm out to give this a break, and at full draw, I held my bow like this, because I was like, I got no other choice. So I'm like, just everything I'm relying on basically in my life so that my arms don't break is just this little cobra release. And I'm sitting there, I'm so caught up in the moment, I'm not even thinking about it. And my bow's here, and I'm like, oh wow, I actually got a break out of it.
Yeah.
And I tried doing this, like,
Again?
and I hated every second. I got so like, I did it so fast, and I was like, I'm not holding that. That's the most unsafe thing. But in my mind, in that moment, it did not matter at all.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there like this, and I'm actually like locked, and this arm's locked out. I'm honestly pretty comfy.
Yeah.
And I mean, this arm, like, I'm
and you're saddle hunting too at this moment too.
So I'm in a saddle. So I'm just locked in, and I'm like, okay, I think I saved myself like 2 minutes. So my post just, it would be crazy if somebody saw this. And at about 8 minutes, I got enough of a hole that I just popped it up, and then went in, and then snuck it through that hole, and then boom.
Holy crap.
Yeah, killed it. And the worst part is I shot it farther back, and it ended up being a liver shot, but it was such a big deer that I played it so safe. And I ended up not being able to get the meat on it, but I do think it was because it took me 24 hours to find this deer, but I think it was more so because of that cut on the back of its neck. The smell of the meat wasn't really of rotted. It was more of what I've researched as like gangrenous.
Ah, okay.
So,
and the heat too. It sounded like it was pretty hot. So I mean, 24 hours. I mean, it could have been like that. Doesn't matter how. Like it's just 24 hours in the heat like that.
I know.
Yeah,
and like that night, everything that night, it was the day when the sun came out. But the craziest part was like, so we went in that night to try to find it with my brother, and it was dark. We lost all blood. There really wasn't any blood. We lost it about 75 yards in. So we go back the next day. We tried to find a drone guy. We tried to do this, but like, it could have easily went on to private, and like, I just didn't want to pay for somebody to show up that like, it's on private, but we can't do anything about it, or we're all out of opportunities and I can't look on private.
Right.
So we're just like, we're gonna figure it out. We went out in the middle of the day, and we're looking around, and not even thinking we're gonna find this thing. And we get to the edge of private, and it's done in my mind. And next thing you know, we're looking down the hill, and I think just to entertain me, like, he didn't really even think anything much of it. Andrew's like, hey, I'm pretty sure that's like a 50-gallon drum down there. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, just put your binos on it. And I look, and all I see is that rack in my binos, and I just look over to Andrew, and I'm like, it's him. And we're just like, and then we just sprint down this hill, like our legs are like probably not even hitting the ground. We're just running so hard, and then it ends up being him, and he's laying here, and private's right there.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
right against the line.
Right against, laying right
gosh.
there, and we're just like, what the heck?
What are the chances?
We start pulling this thing out. My dad just falls on both of his knees. He's like sitting down there like praying. Like, it was the craziest experience for all of us. Like, I mean, I'm like, just because I never thought I would see this deer again. I thought I shot it, and that was the last time I'd ever see it. And it was crazy because after I shot it, like, he was just standing there, like, he knew he got whacked.
Yeah.
But like, he wasn't tucked like this. He wasn't like, he was just walking out of it, trying to shake it off. And I ended up hearing a crash, but it sounded like it was so far. I just didn't want to chalk it up to anything. And like, I didn't want to get in there and spook it. He died. I mean, he died. It was a straight liver shot with like just a pinch of lung at the back end.
All right.
But it killed him. It killed, like, a big deer like that. It killed him. Yeah. I mean, I was watching, he was standing in front of me for like, I'd say 5 minutes. So I think it took 8 minutes to kill him.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, he was dead down there.
Held it for 8 minutes and took him 8 minutes to die.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Was he an 8-point?
12.
Oh, it would have been cool if it was an 888.
Yeah, that would be
cool.
crazy.
But 12 is much better.
The cool connection was we mapped out how much it took us to scout, how much it took us to get in there, and then how much it took us to recover him, and that ended up being 12 miles. So
Really?
we call him the 12-mile 12-buck.
Okay. All right.
The 12-mile 12-point.
Okay.
So like that was pretty cool, and like just the whole experience was just so crazy.
Absolutely. To have your dad and your brother there, like that's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I just picked up the mount for it. Andrew just finished it up about 3 weeks ago, and it's just awesome.
I was gonna say, hopefully you had your brother do it.
Yeah. No, I tried doing it myself. DIY.
So that setup right there, like with those converging terrain features, was there like anything else that made you pick that tree, like that you were set up in? Like, or was it mostly because everything kind of came together?
It was the tree that was the closest to all those. And it wasn't our favorite one. We wished we had a little bit better, but I mean, you know how it is. You gotta end up just picking one at some point. But it ended up being an awesome tree. Like, I had the cover to be able to pull that off, and like, I mean, if I'm shooting through limbs like that, I clearly have cover. You just hope they move a little bit quicker.
Yeah, not 8 minutes. Yeah. Yes.
So maybe I'll kick out the acorns like a little bit farther up next time.
Yeah.
But no, it just ended up being. I know where I'm sitting first, and I'm probably going to put a full day sit in.
Absolutely.
Like right off the bat, like next year there, because it has everything you want. And the nice thing about it is like taking that knowledge and we about gave up on Ohio. Last year was the last year that I was gonna be like, okay, I'm calling it quits on Ohio, because my brother, I mean, he definitely started figuring it out, but like the last year, I mean, I think him and I both could have been like, if nothing happened last year. Because we blanked the year before. We had a lot of opportunities. We had one of my brother's Marine buddies came out, and he had some opportunities, and then my brother did, and then my dad hit a big one, but we weren't able to recover it. It definitely, that was crazy. we were tracking this thing, looked like it was going to be dead, and then we found all these fresh open scrapes with just puddles of blood in it.
Really?
And he just hit the brisket, and the thing was just living life.
Oh my!
Like he was just wrecking scrapes, just full, just gash.
Blood was everywhere. Oh my
what
God!
Just a brute.
What
Yeah.
a stud!
Yeah, seriously. Holy! I would have loved to like see a doe running around with just like blood all over her back. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
just follow that doe. What happened to that doe? Huh?
Yeah, that was a crazy buck.
Man, that would be crazy to find like a buck, because if he's tore open that much and he's dropping that much blood, imagine the scab or like
Yeah, I mean it ended up clotting up. Like we ended up we saw where it ended up closing up and everything. We tracked it as far as we could, but
dang.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing I ever seen. It was just a fresh open scrape. You can see piss in it, but also just a puddle of blood.
That's insane.
Like
that.
What the heck?
If someone walked up to that, like didn't know what was going on, it's like,
yeah.
what is this is doe in heat right now? Like,
yeah,
like
no, that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what we we were like. What? Yeah, what? This is wild.
I want that scrape.
Yeah.
Huh. So, okay, where can people go to follow you, reach out to you for designs if they want design work done, all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, most of my work is on Instagram. That's the most. I dabble in other things, but Instagram at Huegel Design Co. Easiest way to find me. I have a website, obviously. It's been playing in the background. That's HuegelDesignCo.com. And yeah, I actually, this is the first time I'm wearing this shirt. These are about to come out. They'll probably release when this does.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Always Wild shirt, and then on the back it says Never Mild, Always Wild.
Okay. All right.
So that's a new one that just got made up.
And that can be bought on your website?
It can on Etsy.
Etsy. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I'll have a link in my bio and everything on Instagram for them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate you coming in here, man.
Yeah,
It was a fun chat.
Yeah, it was a flew by.
Yeah, it was. It flew by.
Thanks for
That's for
having
sure.
me. Yeah, it did.